prayer is not sweet, okay? Yes, when you just give your life to God, they'll tell you, oh, prayer is just a conversation. Honey, because now you can lay hands and people are now saying, oh, bishops, yes, ma, Mommy Jill. You will let it get to your head. That's why you cannot be a new convert. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are welcome. My name is Fadekemi. I'm a Christian lifestyle blogger and YouTuber in Lagos, from Lagos, Nigeria. So today we're talking about spiritual growth. I've realized that in this generation, or like really in Christianity, I don't think it's even peculiar to this particular generation. In Christianity, we have this tendency of just thinking that because we exhibit the gifts of the Spirit, we automatically are spiritually mature. It's not true, boo. Having the gifts of the Spirit comes with having the Holy Spirit, comes with being a believer. It has nothing to do with you spiritually being mature. Yeah, shocker, I know. Actually, the gift of the Spirit is not even something that is an extraordinary thing. It's not like a supernatural. Yes, wait. Let me finish, okay? Wait, calm down. Yes, it is not extraordinary. It just comes with the life of a believer. The problem is that we as believers, we are not really exhibiting it. We are living below the expectation. We are living below par. The fact is that even in the Old Testament, shocker, in the Old Testament, people actually raised the dead. In the Old Testament, people actually healed the sick. So it wasn't a peculiarity of this generation. It wasn't a peculiarity of Jesus. Yes, I know some people are not going to agree, but it's the truth. Elijah raised the dead. Elijah prophesied. Elisha prophesied. Many people in the old prophesied, did all these things. But the one thing that they didn't have was the salvation. That is the most peculiar thing that Jesus brought for us. It wasn't just the gifts. So naturally we should have the gift. Naturally we should exhibit these things. It's not just for you. You're not special because you lay hands and people get healed. You're not special because you prophesy. We have all been given as believers. It is part of our rights. It is part of the gifts that come with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit himself is the gift. In him has every other thing. We have every other thing. What we do, the word of receiving the Holy Ghost, the receive there is lambano, which means to receive a gift. So having the Holy Spirit is the real gift. All those other things that are attached are just what we should exhibit naturally. Speaking in tongues, healing the sick, raising the dead, doing all these great and mighty works. The problem is that believers are living below par. We're living below the expectation. And that's why when we see someone that exhibits this gift, we are, in awe. We are like worshiping them. We're treating them like gods. But no, Paul did not even meet Jesus. But Paul read of the scriptures. Paul was a worded man. He read the scriptures and he saw that it is written that snakes will come. You shall take up snakes and serpents, and they shall have no harm. They shall not harm you. And what did Paul do when it happened in the book of Acts? A snake bit Paul. Paul just shoved it off because he knew what the word said. Paul did not meet Jesus, but he exhibited all these great qualities, all these great gifts. Not to talk about us. We're like almost like Paul. There's no big deal. Peter was just a man just like us, but these people did all these great things. So don't think that because you can do all these things, it means that you're not a spiritually mature person. No, to be a spiritually mature person is to live your life by love. Okay, you cannot not love the brethren and say, oh yeah, I'm a spiritually mature person. You're a spiritually mature person. You're cursing out people online. You're insulting people. You're saying that some people blatantly curse people, like rain curses on them just because they said something bad about them, and you say you're a man of God. Excuse me? It doesn't work like that. I know some people are going to come and say, oh, but Jesus called the Pharisees swines. Oh, but Paul called Galatians fools. Read in context and understand. Don't just be quoting things that are not necessary. So if you say that you are a spiritually mature person, you must be walking with love. The scriptures tell us that, and now abideth faith, hope, and love. But of those three, love is the greatest. You cannot say that you love and you cannot treat the other person right. Many of us believers, we say that, oh yeah, I'm walking in love. But one thing that someone asks you online, you give one savage response. I'm also like guilty of it, so I'm not exonerating myself of it. I'm just saying of course, I am also working on it, and I know that I have love in me. That is one thing. Always realize that as a believer, you have love inside of you already. You can do better. You can be better. Don't say, oh, this is the way I was made. Oh, someone cannot be insulting me and I'll keep quiet. That is not a real believer that is mature. The second proof of your spiritual maturity is your obedience and submission to the word. What is God saying part-time in your life? Can you outrightly say, yes, I spoke to God about this and this is what he said? Can you win private victories with the Holy Spirit? Can the Holy Spirit tell you, oh, yes, Father, can you do this, and you will do it? Can the Holy Spirit tell you to apologize to someone that you didn't offend? The person is the one that offended you, and the Holy Spirit is saying, apologize. Can you win those private victories? You have to be led by the Holy Spirit to call yourself a son. That's what the scriptures say. Spiritually mature people are people who fellowship daily with the Father and are submitted. They will do anything the Father asks them to do, even if it sounds absurd, it sounds foolish. Yes, that's it. You cannot say that you're spiritually mature, but you're not submitted. Even Jesus said, I wish that this cup will pass over me, but not my will, Lord. Your will be done. Or some people, you just became a believer today. You became a born again today. Tomorrow, you're already pastoring a church. You're already leading a group online. Fam, what do you know about spiritual growth? What do you know? I'm telling you, the test of life is going to come. And it's people that have built character, stamina in the word, in staying with God, that are going to grow. See, I'm not even trying to say that God cannot use anyone. God can use a new believer. God even used a horse, okay? But what I'm saying is that if God is even going to use you, he's still going to build character in you. Be careful. Don't be too forward. Don't be too in a rush. Like, oh yeah, God is going to use me. God has told me he's going to use me. Even Apostle Paul told Timothy in the book of 1 Timothy 3, he said that a bishop must not be someone that just gave his life to Christ. He must not be a new convert, or else he's going to get stupid, he's going to get conceited, because now he can lay hands and people are now saying, oh, bishops are, yes ma, Mommy Jill. You will let it get to your head. That's why you cannot be a new convert. Hey, you cannot. Like, also, I have to say, number 3, spiritual maturity and growth also does not come with age. Okay, you might have been a believer for 20 years, but like you've believed the wrong thing. You've been reading the scriptures wrong. You've been following men of God that are not teaching you the right thing. They're not rightly dividing the word. It does not mean that someone that is maybe 16 but has been rightly dividing the word, that has been under a correct discipleship class, cannot be better than you, cannot be more mature than you. But of course, there's a balance, okay? Being older in age does not mean that you're older in spiritual things. Also, the spiritually mature is someone who is a student of the word, okay? Because you have believed something in the word does not mean that you're right. Don't go on Instagram and start arguing with people and saying that, oh yeah, all these new believers, what do they know? No, if someone tells you something that is in the word and it doesn't sit well with you, go back to the word, study in context, understand the Greek word, the Hebrew word, whatever. Get it, understand. Be like the Berean Christian. When you're taught something, when someone comes against you online and says, oh, what you're teaching is wrong, go back and study. Don't start cursing people. There's so much we can talk about, but I want you guys to continue with me. Tell me in the comment section those other things that you know. Of course, praying, a spiritually mature person is someone that prays, that groans in prayer. Prayer is not sweet, okay? Yes, when you just give your life to God, they'll tell you, oh, prayer is just a conversation. Honey, there are groanings in prayer, okay? There are days when you stay kneeling, like in the face of the Father, like your flesh wants to stand up, but you know that your spirit is not satisfied. You stay. That is a spiritually mature person. So guys, I would like to know your thoughts concerning, the spiritual mature. What do you think? Are there any other things you want to add? Leave it in the comment section below. I just want us to always remember that we should always be submitted to the Father, be obedient to his will. Whatever he's asking you to do part-time, you do it. You're supposed to be working constantly with the Father. That is who the spiritually growing Christian is. Thank you. Bye guys.